y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a new video, and today I wanted to share the best and the worst concealers of 2023. But before we get started, if it is your first time watching, please hit the subscribe button. And if you are a returning subscriber, don't forget to hit the like button. Before we get started, I just want to say that everything that I'm saying in today's video is speaking from my experience with the concealer. This does not mean it's fact. It's just my opinion, and it's just my experience with it. You might feel completely different about some of the products that I will mention in today's video. So of course I'm going to be starting with the worst. I have more good concealers to talk about than the worst. And the first one that I will start with, and a lot of the worst ones I don't have because I end up taking them back to the store. The first one for me would be the Bobbi Brown Skin Full Cover Concealer. I think the few times I did post this year on YouTube, I did talk about how much I disliked that concealer. I felt like it was very thick, the texture of it was also very dry, and no matter how you set it, it creased. Even if you went in with a little bit of concealer, it creased on me. If I went in with a lot, it creased. It just did not work for me. So that would be one of the worst concealers in my opinion that I tried out this year. And the next one for me is actually a little disappointing. It was the Tom Ford concealer stick. I had high hopes for that concealer just because I love a lot of Tom Ford complexion products, but that did not live up to my expectations. That was another one that creased on me. I tried to make that one work, but it just did not work for me. And one I feel like got a lot of hype here on YouTube. I've only seen a handful of people be honest when they tried this product out. It would be the Makeup by Mario concealer. That one I disliked a lot. I think, yeah, that would be like neck and neck with the Bobbi Brown concealer as ones that I did not like this year. That one creased immediately. When I did my review on my channel, I did set it with powder. At the time, I didn't know it was self-setting. So I tried it out a couple times, letting it self-set, and I got the same exact result, that it creased on me, and it creases right away. I would say within the first 30 minutes. So that one is a no-go for me. So that will be one of them. The next concealer, I don't feel like it's the worst, but it's definitely not the best. This will be the Valentino concealer, y'all. This one, I feel like it's kind of unpredictable. Sometimes I'll wear this and it won't crease. The next couple times I try it, it creases. No matter the amount of product I put on, I could put on a lot, I could put on a little bit. It just, I never know like how this is going to turn out. So I would say this one is kind of in the middle. This is not a concealer I will recommend. I don't love it and I don't hate it either, but this is not one that I would recommend for y'all to go pick up. And also I feel like you get a very tiny amount of product in here, and I think this retails for about $35. So I love the foundation from Valentino. I'm actually wearing that today, but this concealer is just not it for me. Okay, so I'm going to start with the best, and one of the ones that I would consider the best concealers that I tried out this year is from the brand Iamkaia.online. This concealer retails for $24. I would describe the coverage on this medium to buildable. I really love the texture of this. This is just nice, buttery smooth. This is also very long wearing. It doesn't crease. Give you like a nice natural look. So this is one that I really did like. I was wearing this a lot earlier during the year. Now I don't care for the applicator because I feel like it's cheaply made, but outside of that, this is a product that I will highly recommend, and I think this is a black owned beauty brand. Next concealer that I will consider to be one of the best this year is from Armani. This is the Armani Power Fabric Concealer. This retails for $40. It's available in 19 shades. I feel like this is a full coverage concealer that works best on camera. Now don't get me wrong, it doesn't look bad in person. It's great for those glam kind of looks. Now this is not a concealer that I feel like somebody will reach for every day, but like if you're doing something on camera or taking photos, or you just want to look very flawless and airbrushed under the eyes, this is one I would recommend. I do feel like this can be on the drying side, so I could totally understand why some people probably wouldn't like this, but it works for me. This is a matte concealer. It blends out easily. But yeah, this is one of the concealers that I would consider to be the best of the year. And also this was reformulated. I never tried the original, so I can't speak to whether or not if it's the same, if there's any difference, but this is a concealer that I did use a lot this year. And the next one that I would consider to be one of the best, that I had a hard time putting this down earlier during the year. This is from Natasha Denona. This is the Hyglam High Brightener. I know this has a long name, but I really enjoyed this. Now, this is available in like 50 shades. I think this retails somewhere between $30 to $35. I don't really remember. When I picked this up in store, I did have a hard time choosing a shade because I felt like a lot of the medium to deep shades almost look like color correctors, but I did find a pretty decent shade. And I have the shade Y12. It's not going to give you like a super bright under eye look. This is another one that can be kind of drying. So if you're somebody who have dry under eyes and you don't want a concealer that's going to be drying, you might want to pass on this. For me, it worked. Also, this doesn't crease at all. This is a very long wearing concealer. I would highly recommend this one. It also looks great on camera and in person. Again, you're just going to get like a nice natural under eye look. So this was one of my favorites of the year. The next concealer that was one of my favorites of the year, I think this was a reformulated product. I know it came out either earlier this year or sometime late last year around December. But this is the Dior Skin Correct Concealer. This retails for $40. It's available in 30 shades. I have the shade 4WO, which I feel like is the perfect shade for me as far as the under eye look. I would describe the coverage as medium to full. Also, this has a nice natural finish. I feel like this is very hydrating. This is just as good as the original. I think they added more cleaner or natural ingredients in it, but they didn't mess up the formula with this. So I've really been enjoying this concealer this year. And as you see, I'm starting to get a little dent in it. I've been using this quite often. Like, I really love this concealer a lot. Like, this just works. It is very long wearing. It blends out easily. It doesn't crease. This is one, again, I will highly recommend. Concealer that I will be talking about, I will consider these to be my top 3 of the year. So coming in at 3rd place would be the Givenchy Prism Concealer. Retails for $37. It's available in 20 shades. Shade 390. This is not going to give you a super bright under eye look, but it's perfect for those everyday looks. The coverage on this I would describe as medium to full. I feel like this is a satin matte finish. That's the best way I would describe it. Also, look at the packaging. You get a lot of concealer. I highly recommend this one. This, again, will be in my top 3 of the year. I love this concealer. This is definitely one of my go-tos for every day. Number 2 spot for the best concealer of the year, I actually have this on today. This is the Gucci concealer. This retails for $47. It's available in 40 shades. This has a matte finish. The texture of this is very thin. This is not super thick. This blends out easily. It is also very long wearing. It doesn't crease. When I first tried this out here on my channel, my first review, I was like, it's just okay. I didn't feel blown away by it, but as I started to use it more and more, I began to love it. I'm not too crazy about the packaging. I hate these flowers, but that's something small and minor. Also, you get a nice amount of product in this concealer. I do have the shade 41C on. As you see, it's not super bright. It's a nice natural look. I love the way that this looks on camera. I love the way this also looks in person, and I need my concealers to be long wearing. I need them not to crease on me, and this does exactly that. So this will be top 2 as one of my favorite concealers of 2024. Before I get to my number 1 top spot of my favorite concealer of the year, I do have 2 honorable mentions. I will be mentioning them together. I did like these, but I wasn't blown away. These weren't my favorites of the year. And the first one will be coming from Makeup Forever. This is the Ultra HD concealer. This is going to give you a flawless under eye look. You're going to look very smooth. You honestly going to look like you have a filter on. Again, this was one that I liked, but I wasn't in love with it. But I did want to mention this one. Next concealer comes from Lancôme. This is the Natural Glow Serum Concealer. I do like this one a lot, but I wasn't blown away by it. These 2 I would, again, highly recommend, but they just weren't my favorites. I really do like this one. This is very hydrating. So if you're someone who have kind of like those dry under eyes, you might actually like this one because it is more on the hydrating, and it's also going to give you, I would say, kind of like a natural glowy kind of look. But anyway, for my number 1 spot, my favorite concealer of the year, this was a product that was reformulated. I was a little nervous with picking it up. It actually took me a while because I knew for sure that it would not be as good as the original, but to my surprise, it is just as good. And this comes from YSL. This is the All Hours Concealer. This retails for $38. It's available in 18 shades. This concealer I would describe as a satin matte, but it is also hydrating and it's not super drying at all. Also, this is very long wearing. The texture of this is so creamy and it just melts right into the skin. I love the original All Hours concealer. So again, I was hesitant to pick this up because I just didn't know. And also, look at the packaging. This is another one where you get a lot of product. And then this concealer, I have the shade DW1. This is the perfect shade for me. I was thinking about getting a lighter shade, but I decided I'm going to just keep this one. I've really been loving this concealer since I picked this up during the Sephora sale. This is one of my go-tos. This, in my opinion, is the best concealer that was released this year. Now, of course, I did not try out every single concealers that was released. I think there are about a good 3 or 4 that came out that I just didn't have any interest in getting. But again, this is just my opinion. I would highly, 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 highly recommend this one. Anyway, y'all, that is it for today's video. Y'all let me know what were your favorite concealer of 2023. Also, let me know whether or not if you agree with my picks for the best and the worst. And most importantly, do not forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see y'all later. Bye.